Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever highlights video here for MRL Season 4 APAC Division. My name is Mikhail and this season we are driving for the AlphaTauri squad for this first opening round here in Australia. Of course my home track. So on this first qualifying run, getting a massive slide out of the penultimate corner, but we do come across the line to set a 19.7 as our opening baker. Wasn't the best lap in the world, and we actually invalidated our second run in the session, so we're going to now ride on board for the fastest lap I did in this session, fueling the car up for 2 runs just in case. So heading down into turn 1, braking just before the 50-meter board, using all of the apex curbing there, keeping it nice and tidy on the apex as well. Now down the second DRS zone, looking for the black box on the left-hand side, down into turn number 3, keeping it in 3rd gear just to minimize that wheel spin, short shifting up to 5th through turn 4, as keeping it nice and tidy there. A bit of time left in the table, definitely could have pushed a little bit more, but it was still a fairly clean first sector. We actually had the Red Bull of PTR in the way of us there slightly, so a little bit distracting, but he didn't impede us too much. Down to the turns 9 and 10, down to 3rd gear, short shifting up to 4th, and then again up into 5th, using all the AstroTurf on the exit, then keeping it nice and tight to this left-hand side. Now, the hardest 2 corners, in my opinion, of the track, turns 11 and 12. We take it nice and easy. Definitely a lot more time there to be found at turn 12. Didn't really cut that apex as much as I would have liked to, but it was still nice and clean, nice and stable. And at this point, I was just happy that I was getting a somewhat decent clean lap in. But into this third and final sector now, the final couple of corners into the penultimate corner, we are up significantly on the time. But coming through this last corner now, nice and easy does it. Yeah, I think saying there in the team radio that it seems like a pretty good lap, but it's actually a 19.081. But Remco coming across the line with a 118.6. So the Dutchman doing a very good job. But my reserve teammate Frio for this event, we actually lock out the second row, and yeah, a very good result for the team there. So really looking forward to this one. But now we're on the starting grid, going from the soft to the hard strategy to start off. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here in Albert Park, Australia to start off the season. And it's lights down and we go. We actually get a pretty good start compared to those rounds. But Ben there in the Mercedes has actually gotten off to a horrible start. He actually boxes Freeware in. So we got to go down the inside of our teammate, heading into this first corner. And yeah, we can actually see that Remco and Ben the Bear going side by side yet again. But actually behind us, there is a massive accident. And there's,
I had to back out
unsurprisingly,
Ben wasn't pushing on the start.
As you can hear, Freeware there complaining about Ben's slow start. But there was actually a massive accident behind us, and if you've seen the clips there in the MRL Discord, I'm sure you'd be no surprises there
nowhere to go on the
that
start.
it was actually a full course caution, a full safety car for the opening lap. So we got off to a pretty good start. There, the launch was pretty good. We able to make up a position on our teammate, but actually Domi, who was reserving for the Ferraris in this race, because I believe U-Sleeps was unable to make it to this opening event. He's actually jumped our teammate as well. So Freeway now down into 5th place, but as we skip forward now to the end of lap 3, we actually get a very late call that the safety car was coming in. Luckily, we did get at least some heat into the tires, but now we're just going to be focusing on this safety car restart because, these last couple of corners with the cold tires can be very tricky. We actually saw throughout the week lots of drivers losing it on this last corner on these safety car restarts, but we actually get a pretty decent launch. We, still within that 3/10 gap of Remco Van Putten in front of us. So we've actually pulled away slightly from Domi and Freeway behind us. All the gaps basically about the same, but coming through these first couple of corners now off the restart, just still trying to take care of the tires, use as little ERS as possible. And now we're going down into turns 3 and 4, just trying to stay as close as we can to the back of Remco. And at this stage, the tires, they still quite aren't up to temperature, and we're still trying to get used to that the dirty air effect from the car in front. But actually, skipping ahead now onto lap 5 of this race, we actually get a strategy call from Jeff. I actually have no idea what that was for, but we actually get a massive moment there, running super wide. Luckily, no warning. because we did lift off throttle there slightly on that Kirby, but that was very, very scary. If you keep the power down on that Kirby, that could be race ending. But yeah, still have that strategy change from Jeff, and we actually have another safety car. And as you can hear from my teammate there, he wants to pit for hards, and we're actually going to do the same. So we're going to do the double stack. Ben, crucially, actually stays out in this safety car. So he is in a very, very bad spot. But Remco, myself, Domi, Freeway, basically everyone else behind us has come into the pit lane and is going to put on a fresh set of hard compound tires to go to the end of this race. So unfortunately, we aren't quite able to jump Remco Van Putten in the pit lane, but that's okay. Having a net second position is very, very good. And you know, just being that lead AlphaTauri car.
5 seconds in the pits after.
And as you can hear, my teammate Freeway not too happy about the double stack. He actually got held again because that was a very, very busy pit lane. So he's actually now down into 9th place. So not the start that he was hoping for, but from our side of the garage, it's been a pretty good start. Now Ben still needs to pit, so we're now skipping ahead to lap 7 for this safety car restart. And Ben actually decides to go a lot earlier than he did last time. You can see on the tire graphic, you know, it's 79, 80 degrees on those rear tires on the hards. They definitely aren't up to temperature yet. And we actually get not the best restart. We're still within 7/10 of Remco Van Putten in front of us, our main rival in this race. But Domi behind us, so he's also gone onto that fresh set of hards, and he's actually had a pretty decent restart himself. But now we're just trying to take it nice and easy through this first lap on the hards, just trying to get them up to temperature and use as little ERS as possible. Looks like Ben is already pulling away into the distance because he knows that he has stuffed up this strategy and he needs to get as far ahead of us as he can. But yeah, nothing really to note in this stage of the race. We have to use a lot of ERS actually to stay within that 1 second gap of Remco Van Putten, because I knew at this stage of the race, you know, everyone in this this fight for the sharp and the higher positions, as we have a massive mistake there into turn 11. So we're going to have to use even more of our battery, now all the way down to 55% on this opening lap, just to stay within that 8/10 of Remco Van Putten. But I knew here that the DRS is so important, because if you can stay within that 1 second gap, then you're able to just save your fuel, save your ERS, and actually as we skip ahead another lap to the start of lap 10, where DRS is now finally re-enabled from the safety car periods, and we are actually, you know, around that 4/10 mark, so we are within slipstream. And as you can hear from my teammate saying, Freeway, in the chat, is that Yoda, the reserve Williams driver, actually has gone into Shrimp, one of the Haas drivers at Terminal, and that's going to be a virtual safety car. So not a full one this time, but a virtual safety car. But we skip ahead a couple of corners to when the virtual safety car is ending, and actually
it's a
pretty bad restart. You know, Remco, he was able to gain a bit of time through that virtual safety car, but we were able to time that pretty well at the exit of turn 10. So we were able to close right back up now onto lap 11 now. We actually have a very nice one. We're going to try to go around the outside of Remco Van Putten on the brakes, braking as late as we possibly can. But we actually brake a bit too late, go into the grass there, and that has allowed Domi in the Ferrari past us. So a very big mistake there. Definitely isn't ideal, but yeah, just wasn't able to quite get the car stopped in time. And now we're going to skip ahead to lap 12 of this race, where I think, yes, we have another little slide there of the rear through turn 12, but we are staying with these guys in front, and Domi actually gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So he is basically out of this this running for the race win. And he has another massive mistake through turn 6 on lap 16. So we're going to try and find a way past, but the track is just too narrow, and Domi does a very good job of defending that one. So he brakes slightly early for turn 9, trying to get the best exit that we can out of turn 10. Just get as close as we can, using a bit of that overtake. We actually have been doing a very good job of managing that battery, currently sitting around 66% as we make our way into the third sector of this lap. But you can just see the time that we lose through turns 11 and 12. I don't exactly know, like, you know, they are two of my weakest corners on the circuit, definitely, but that is a lot of time to be losing. But we skip forward now to lap 19, and Domi has actually got the run on Remco Van Putten. So this is now for the race lead as well, because Ben has now pitted for the medium compound tyres to go to the end of this race. So Domi now, he's really starting to put Remco Van Putten under a lot of pressure. But we are staying right to the back of that Ferrari, and that is exactly what we need to do. Domi actually is now up to 6 seconds of penalties. So as you can see there on the bottom of the screen, Ben is actually out of this race. So that is one of our main championship rivals this season, the champion from the previous season, out of this race. And he actually, I can confirm, had a bit of a collision there with PTR at the exit of turn 12. But you can see now we're skipping forward to lap 20 of 29. Domi has actually gotten a horrible run out of the fast chicane of 11 and 12. So we're going to try and use this to maybe have a little bit of a look, but we just aren't really close enough to mount a attack. So we just back out into lean and stay behind for now. But skipping forward to now lap 21, he actually has another massive mistake. We get very close to the back of it. I can confirm we actually did tap slightly. So that's me. You see me there checking the wing for any damage. Luckily no damage there, because that would have been race ending if we got damage there. But yeah, Domi with a massive mistake there through turns 9 and 10. Definitely allowing us to catch right back up to the Ferrari. But skipping forward to lap 22 of this race, we actually get a really good run for once out of turns 11 and 12. So we're going to try and find a way past the Ferrari. Domi goes defensive to the inside, but we aren't really able to find a way past. Just Australia is a track that is very hard to overtake. And at this point, getting a little bit frustrated that I can't really attack Remco Van Putten, because it's at least in the cockpit, definitely felt like Domi was sort of just being the rear gunner for Remco Van Putten. But they actually are now going side by side just a couple of corners later at the start of lap 23. And Domi, he tried to find a way around the outside of the Dutchman, but just wasn't quite able to make that move stick. But at the end of lap 24 now, heading into turn 13, they're actually going to go side by side through turn 13. And I'm just seeing here, oh, can they just hold each other up just a little bit more? And I can tell from, well, the pace that I'm seeing in front of me, as Yoda actually now retires from the session. So very unfortunate for him there in that Williams reserve seat. But yeah, and I can really tell now that Remco is starting to struggle with his tyres. And there we go, Domi and Remco going actually side by side into the turns 1 and 2, and he actually ruins Remco's run. So we're going to go down the inside at turn 2, and we're going to make the pass on the Red Bull driver. We try and get Domi as well a little bit, just trying to defend that outside line from Remco, but being sure not to go wide yet again. And that is us into the net lead of this race. That move was so important. Just trying to capitalize on Domi and Remco fighting ahead. And, you know, Remco's line being compromised by the Ferrari has allowed us to get through. But as you can see from the proximity arrows and me checking behind, and at that timing down the top left-hand side of the screen, Remco is very close to the rear of us. So we're going to stay on board for a couple more corners. I knew that he was a lot faster through turns 11 and 12, so we have to really focus on this exit here and just try to do all that we can. As we see, we get a massive wash of understeer, using a little bit more of that battery to try and stay ahead of the Red Bull and that DRS as well from the Ferrari of Domi in front of us. But it was, you know, pretty smooth sailing for that occasion. We're now going to skip ahead now to the start of lap 26, so only a couple laps to go, and Domi actually goes on the grass at the exit of turn 2, so definitely can see that he's struggling with those tires. His red light is also flashing, which means that he's below 10% battery, and we actually have the brown guy and combined YouTuber out of this race with virtual safety. And we actually get hit. We actually get hit in the rear from Remco Van Putten when we were slowing down to try and match the Delta pace, because Domi was slowing down in front of us. He gets the 5-second time penalty, and yeah, thankfully we didn't here in the AlphaTauri.
6 seconds.
So I can confirm that Remco actually did get wing damage from that little collision. So we are looking in looking like we're in a very good spot for this race. But you know, just need to focus on this virtual safety car restart, as we are now skipping forward to the last stage of lap 26, getting that restart. You know, playing it nice and safe. And yeah, now we just have to keep the car in one piece and bring it home to the end. So only a few laps to go in this race. Remco Van Putten, one of our main rivals, is behind us with wing damage after he ran into the back of us under that virtual safety car, and Domi has that 6 seconds still of penalties. I don't believe he's gotten any more warnings since he has gotten that 6-second penalty, but still 6 seconds is a fair margin. As you can see now, the tire indicator on the MFD actually popping up, which means that one of our tires is above 60% wear. So these hards are definitely have definitely seen better days. That's for sure. You can see the grainy actually on those fronts on your screen. Hopefully, I don't know how well YouTube is picking it up, but coming across the line now, it will be Domi winning on track, but we will take the win here in our home track. And as you can hear by my voice, absolutely ecstatic. That was such a great race. But yeah, you can hear what my teammate is saying. Remco actually had another issue, but there we go. That is going to be the first race of the season, and probably the best way that we could have started this season. So, winning the home race is always a very special around especially around at least for me, the streets of Albert Park, because it's not one of my strongest circuits. But very happy there to get that race win, and it's definitely a very strong result, both for myself and for the team there. So you can see the results on screen. We actually take the race win, and our teammate reserving freeware actually in that 4th place. So a good haul of points for AlphaTauri. But that's going to be all from this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of my League Racing highlight videos. There will be more coming out as the races go on, and I hope to see you then. Take it easy, and I'll see you then.